Well, hello, hello, and welcome. Beam on in to Cosmic Convos. How are you all doing today? I'm so grateful that you are here to join us today for this very special number 3. Yes, it's our third show. We are birthing as we release with this lunar eclipse. It's a lunar eclipse. Now, it's not a full on lunar eclipse, it's called a penumbral eclipse. But it doesn't take away from the power and the energy that we have going on with the solar eclipse happening 2 weeks from today. And let's not forget that we had an X flare a little over 24 hours ago. And I don't even know, I think it's like 15 or 16 M class flares, and I don't even count the C flares anymore. So, in other words, this is a very powerful day, and this is going to be a very special Cosmic Convos as I have my dear mentor and sister here out of Canada, Julie Severn. So, we're going to speak to Julie Severn today. I do see all of you loading up in the chat. If everybody just give me a thumbs up that everything's cool on the sound end and that everything's groovy, I will go ahead and start this little cosmic convo. Hi. Yes, everyone remember, and thanks to the moderators, thanks to the groups. By the way, if you are on YouTube, be so kind. Please caress that like button, hit subscribe, and share us out. Like if you share, you're caring because this is light coded information. You're receiving that wonderful love from my heart, from Julie's heart, and from all of your hearts. We are ascended beings in a flesh suit. We are powerful spiritual beings here to flip the frequency of a planet. That is the mission. And in doing so, always with our higher cosmic heart center. So please be sure to share out the video if you happen to be on the Facebook. We'd really appreciate that. All right. Yes. Oh, look at that. We've already got someone saying, "We love you, Julie." Look at that. Now, remember, we are multi streaming on Facebook and YouTube and in multiple groups, Instagram. So come on and just have some fun. This will be about an hour-long conversation or so between Julie and myself, and we don't have anything planned. We just come on here and talk about spirituality, higher frequency, astrology, the galactics, cosmic, and who knows? We may even talk about who knows? You just never know. We don't plan these things, right? Julie has been, I met her online back, I believe it was in 2019, towards the end of 2019, beginning of 2020. And she is a published author. She has a book that she wrote 30 years ago. We'll talk about that. And guess what? If you're here on this live, don't leave because we will be giving away an autographed copy of her book at the end of this broadcast. Okay, so stick around. Don't go anywhere. And she's a medicine woman. She makes all these wonderful medicines. She is a psychic mentor. She's been doing this for a very long time. She's a remote viewer, and I just love her dearly. This is one of my top most favorite people on this planet. So I'm so excited to bring Julie Severn in for this cosmic convo, and we'll talk about her book. We'll talk about whatever's going to be going on in the galactics as we are right on the precipice of this lunar eclipse in Libra, the Libra Lemurian Remembrance lunar eclipse, and we'll explain a little bit more about that. So, without further ado, welcome to Cosmic Convos, Julie Severn.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yay. I'm so excited. So I just want to tell you, I'm so happy because you're the first one to be on Cosmic Convos with our new opener. Now I have Frank in the video.
Is that the alien guy?
Yeah.
He's kind of cute. I saw him.
Well, I have Frank and Frank Jr. out around the pool. out back here where, you know,
Oh.
I'm Padre Island, Texas, and I have the same alien guy and then a little alien junior sitting there, you know, like in his little swim trunks, you know. And I could not believe when Renee Moredia, who happens to be a dear brother and dear moderator of mine on YouTube and Facebook, created that. So what a blessing, right? So what's happening, Julie? How are you feeling in all of these energies today?
Well, there's some pretty interesting stuff going on. I'm getting a lot of downloads and a lot of information coming in. So I'm just listening and writing whatever I have to and sharing it online because it seems to be the most important thing right now. And, there's a lot of change happening in the world. And so people are not feeling well. They're not. People are
Yeah.
having upset stomachs. You're feeling imbalanced. You're having dizzy spells. Your stomachs are not happy because you're literally, I actually equated myself to a praying mantis, kind of like, trying to, because things feel like they're cracking and moving and changing. And
Mm-hmm.
it feels like that on the inside of the body. So all these changes are happening deliberately, and we just have to lighten up about it and just allow them,
Yeah.
get out of our
Yeah.
own way.
Yes, I was saying that to many people this past couple of weeks is just to get out of your way and let it go. Like, and so with this Libra lunar eclipse, it's all about, you know, release because every eclipse is release, period. I mean, eclipses eclipse in and out people, places, and things into our life. And, the Libra eclipse is activating a remembrance in us from our Lemurian ancient ancestry is what I understand and have been told. But it is on the basics, all about the relationship to self, the relationship to the other that you are, you know, the mirror that you see in others is part of that stuff that goes on within you that maybe you need to have a little look at. And the other big message I've been receiving is take it back to the basics. No matter what it is. Like right now, everything needs to go back to the beginning. Go back to the start. Go back where you began with something, no matter, if that means you got to go back to 2 years ago when you first began that project, or you got to go back to the beginning of that relationship to really find that resolution in order to move on. The universe is very much supporting the release and really kind of like saying it's okay to let go now.
It's interesting you should say that because, I wrote something last week or week before, I can't even remember. And it was about ceremony. And the fact that everything that we do in life, we go to ceremonies and we don't give them the dedication that we should give them, or the love or the care, because we're not used to ceremony. We don't even understand it. But if we understand that ceremony back in the day, 450,000 years ago, when we were all very godly, we actually put ceremony into everything we did. We blessed our seeds that we planted into the ground. We blessed the food that we created, that we blessed when we cooked, we blessed when we washed, we blessed when we did everything. And we have forgotten that. We have forgotten the importance of ceremony in every single small action that we do. It's huge. Yeah.
It is. Clearing and blessing, even brushing your teeth. And
Yes.
and coming into communion with gratitude, like thank you God that I have these teeth. And
Yeah.
thank the God within me.
Yeah.
Remembering the God is not outside of you, what else have you been noticing? Have you been noticing a lot of your peeps? See,
Chihuahua.
I knew your little chihuahua was going to have something to say today. God
She
bless
always
him.
does. If I get on the phone or if I'm working on here, she barks. She just does.
She wants to be here. She wants to be heard.
She's quite the little speaker, I'll tell you. Yeah, ceremony has to go into everything that we do. And I am noticing that there's a lot of people who are really angry out there right now. The world is full of people being really angry and upset about things. So my focus is to stay grounded, stay out of anger, don't get triggered, because triggering right now is a bad idea, because we are in the middle of healing. So what we've got to do is stay in the light as much as we can, not allowing anyone to trigger us into a place that we don't need to be, because it's too easy right now. The energies are so high and so strong And it's because of the changes happening in us. And it could be a bit of even a reticence on our part to allow that change, right? And so we've got to give ourselves permission to change. We've got to give ourselves permission to ramp it up and heal ourselves to the point where we're literally figuring it out. And we are. But there's many who are still lagging because they're scared. So we have to just keep on being that vibration. I'm noticing that I'm going around in the world and I'm saying things now a lot, you know, like, oh yeah, this has to change. That's got to change. We can't keep doing this, you know? So I'm actually verbalizing a lot now. And the interesting thing is 2 years ago, I couldn't have done that, but people are waking up and they are starting to pay attention.
Yeah, I agree. There is such a rising of the awakening. I mean, I'm just saying, God, since let's just say since I started really seeing it like 20, probably 2018 was when I really started noticing it. But then huge as of 2022. And what's so cool is that, like, okay, and I just had a conversation with somebody about this yesterday. This is coming forward. Is that most people are, well, let's square it out here. We're all on different frequencies at different levels, right? But we're all still on this same earth, although there's I'm calling it a quadruple earth split, where there's 4 different earths going on. Somebody else said it was 3 different earths going on, and I'll break all that down another time. But basically, it's all these people are at different levels, and we're having to choose different timelines. And then there's many of us that have kind of gotten to a little bit higher level in the game, right? And I cannot interfere with that person who is at, say, level 3, and I'm already at level 4, if that makes any sense. And that people who are perceiving things in such a way, you're not going to be able to awaken them, but you can influence with your own vibrational frequency, with how you hold yourself, you know. And it also, you know, we are talking, you said that ego, I'd like to touch on that. You said that ego was out there quite a bit because you're seeing people get angry and frustrated because of, you know, all the constructs are breaking down within the matrix of these 4 different earth planes. And I feel like the first one on there is just going to completely disintegrate, and nobody's really going to jump on that train. It's like, are you going to buy a ticket? No, you can't. Sorry, it's not going to work. But no. There is a dissolving away, because we have so much of this Piscean energy in this Aries season of spring equinox. And Aries is the ego. It is the I am that I am. So you're going to have more aggression, but there'll be a softening of that aggression if you just be an allowance to let them feel into where they are. I mean, if they're still believing that reptilians are ruling the earth, all over the earth, then so be it. Let them believe that for now. They'll figure out and make their way. There was one point in time that I was like, reptilians are everywhere and they're all over the earth and they're invading us all the time, you know. And now I know that they're healed and they're loved, and that they're, you know, most of them, if they have a darkness to them, they're gone. They cannot vibrate where I'm at because my frequency's so high that that's just not allowed on this earth plane. What do you have to say? And that's
actually happening on the earth plane now. Is the vibration has gone so high, and it is. And it's not even the vibration, it's the Schumann resonance. It's actually shifted so high that they can't survive here any longer. They're used to 4.32 or whatever the heck they are. They are not used to anything going any higher. The lower the vibration, the lower the resonance for them, the better. So what I'm understanding that none of this was even really necessary, if you want to know the truth. It was going to happen anyway.
What's that?
Everything that happened in the last 4 years wasn't really necessary. This was going to happen anyway. This planet was going to change its frequency, its vibration, and its resonance, and it would make it untenable for them to stay anyway. So what they've done is they've tried to speed it up a little bit, but we've all sped it up with our own vibration by 10,000 years already. So my feeling on the subject is that some of the things we've gone through, we didn't need to go through, you know? It's sad to me because we've lost a lot of people. And it makes me really sad because that's even been used by certain factions to make us even more worried, right? And
Right.
I don't like that. I like the fact that honesty and openness, and that's why when I do my lives, I always say everything I'm feeling and seeing, because we've been lied to for so long. Someone says to me, "Well, you can't tell people that. You can't tell people," because the other day I was talking about how I saw this continental divide split North America right down the middle. And everybody, and somebody said to me, "Well, you can't put that on your live." And I said, "Yeah, I can. I'm doing it."
Yeah.
And they said, "Well, you're going to scare people." And I'm going, "Why would they be scared? They've lived through earthquakes, fires, pestilence. They've lived through everything already. How are they going to be scared because they hear the land's going to split a bit?" It's already happening in Africa. Africa is rending right down from one end to the other. It's creating two continents right now. And this huge rift, this huge rift that's going right down the middle. You don't hear it all over the news and nobody's freaking out, right?
Right.
It's happening. It's happening. It's going to happen in North America too. Because
I saw that.
And it needs to happen. And there's even going to be an inland sea,
Yeah, like it literally, it's going to go, what I saw is it's going to go up, and if you're in Louisiana, you might want to get out of there, because a lot of Louisiana is going to go up, and it's going to kind of go up through the mountains of the like Ozark Mountains, where Arkansas is, and I'll like be okay barely here where I'm at, but I'm just saying,
I think you'll be okay because the split is there.
Yes,
there's the split.
That's exactly. Holy cow! That's what my Lumerian showed me just last week, and I'm still trying to get like all the clear information before I brought it forward.
But there's four. There's four. There's the split that comes all the way down here and goes here. There's another split that goes all the way across between Canada and United States. That one won't be affected. There's another one that goes along the Great Lakes over to, through the St. Lawrence. And then there's one that comes down to the Florida Panhandle. Now, in reality...
Will you show that up right to the camera so everybody can see it, and just hold it real still for me, Julie Severn? Now, back up a little. Perfect. There we go. Okay. And then that way, some of my moderators can have a moment just to take a screenshot. This is kind of like the projected reality of what's the new higher vibrational earth in order to get us there, is what I was told. It's like all of these things must happen and split us up in order. And as you can see, there's three. It looks like three. Is there three or four? I saw three.
There's four. There's one that comes all the way down. And then there's the one that goes all the way across. And then there's a small one here, right there, a small one. And then the other one goes all the way up to Labrador. So
wow.
There's So this is what the split is, and this means that when this happens, there's going to be a sea right down the middle, and I saw this 30 years ago, and I thought what I saw was this rending of the two countries. But what I realized, what I saw then, was what I'm seeing now. But what I thought that was a divide that happened between the two countries, and one kept the west and one kept the east. That's what I thought it was. But now that I've seen it even further, you saw that split. Somebody else said they saw the split. Cool.
Yeah, Janine Johnson is highly lit, and she's someone I also respect quite a bit, and she saw it as well. So that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it doesn't. So what I thought was that it was going to be like on the long side, U.S. and then Canada, or Canada and U.S. Not sure which way it was going to go, but I was seeing lengthwise. But now what I'm realizing, that lengthwise is actually the rending of the shift and the split going all the way down. And the same thing is happening in Africa, as I've said. And the weird thing is it's splitting so beautifully that it's even following the biblical prophecies of water coming out of that split. So there's actually water coming out of the ground into that split, it's going to create another inland sea as well. But that's
needed
actually
in places over there for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you understand about Africa, the Sahara Desert is only 400 years old. It was actually a beautiful, beautiful Garden of Eden back in the day.
Eden. Yes.
So this splitting that's happening is just going to create that more water for them and more everything. It's actually in the Sahara Desert now. They're already building gardens because they're getting ready for everything. They know. They're building big places of gardens. It's just amazing.
Oh,
You
that's
know.
awesome.
So
Okay.
we can see these. These are good things too. They're not bad things. You know.
Everything that's being okay. So the demolition started, and I was screaming this in 2019. The demolition of the higher controls started back in 2019, was activated January of 2020. That would be January 19th of 2020, when we had the great huge conjunction of Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn coming together in Capricorn. I'm getting chilled to the bone. Coming together in Capricorn. That all kicked it off. You got to remember, Capricorn, for those that don't understand, that's all about top-down structures, okay? Pluto moving through there was the cleanup crew, like saying, this ain't going to work. If it's not of truth, if it's not of integrity, if it's not authenticity, if it's not of love, it has to go. And I'm Pluto, I'm Hades, I'm capturing you souls and taking you back down to where you got to go. So this has been a progression of this demolition going on. And as we continually expand our heart frequency as light beings, as a conduit of light, that's been another one that's been coming through. This is just going to progress and progress and progress. Now, I'd like to ask you what you see, because when Pluto left Capricorn and entered into Aquarius, now he will pop back in for the election in the United States, just for a short little period. Oh, goody! One last time for the guard to be killed off forever. Anyway, he will pop back in from September until November.
Lovely.
Right, it's so hilarious. You can't make this stuff up.
No.
Anyway. But what my question to you is, now that we're in this really different frequency, and please let me make sure and make this clear, we are not in the age of Aquarius. We're in the corridor of the age of the Aquarius. The age of Aquarius does not officially kick off for another 120 years. But understand this, we've been waiting for this for a long, long time. So the corridor is pretty much good enough, okay? Like, we are in the waiting room. You know, we're about to go into this really new, revolutionized, enlightened, heart center. And it's the rebellion rising against those top-down structures. And from now on, it will be more of the bottom up. So the bottom, because Aquarius is about the collective, the community rules, right? So what are you feeling on all of that and how this demolition
We've actually
has been going?
changed we changed the timelines by 10,000 years by awakening the way we did. We can change the timelines on that one too. Yeah. I can see that. We can change the timelines on that one and create it sooner. The more people that awaken, I'm of that feeling. You know, I'm seeing that we are manifestors beyond your imagination. We can create whatever our heart desires. We can make whatever we need to do. We do it all the time. You know, they're talking about replicators and the 3D printers and all these things that they're going to get for us. We are that.
I have a hard time with the 3D printer stuff because I feel like I can create that stuff. You know, I told you that I had my Lumerian lady waking me up at 2 and 3 a.m. in the morning because my hands each have a whole orb and I'm pushing with my energy that little Lumerian seed across the table. I think I wiggled it a little, but I'm not 1,000% certain it was 3 a.m. But, you know, like literally we create through the resonance of where we are. And it's fear, or is it faith? You see what I'm saying? It's where you're coming from. If you're coming from that fear frequency, from that lack frequency, you're going to have a hard time creating. You're probably going to take a ticket on the old earth train. So like, I see it like this. There's a train going through. There's 4 of them. One of them's total destruction. One of them's you're going to stay in struggle forever. The other one is, oh my gosh, I'm in the 5D frequency. And then the next one is, I am completely ascended. I'm past my 14th, 16th dimensional strand. See, that's
There's many dimensions.
So many dimensionals to the strands of the DNA.
Yeah.
What do you feel about all of that?
I feel like the dimensions are actually compressing onto us. That's why we're also feeling so gross and so weird, because okay, so the separation when the veil was up for such a long time, and the veil's not up any longer, but when the
No.
veil was up, we couldn't see the other dimensions because they walk alongside of us,
Mm.
You know that. It's like
Yes.
Superman, it's like Superman's Bizarro world. Did anybody ever read those? Like the Superman comics? They had a Bizarro world where everybody was cracked like a glass. And so they
Oh.
were all Superman and Lois Lane and everybody, but they all had this cracked skin. And it was
Uh-huh.
just another dimension. It was a dark dimension of them, right?
Right.
So we actually, yep, love and faith over fear. We actually have so much inside of us that we are interdimensional inside. So, when you see those pictures of that person where it just shows the face and there's a hood and all you can see in the face is like all the
Yeah.
stars and that's
Yes,
us.
yes, 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 yes.
You
Yes.
take that off and that's what we are inside.
Yes, yes.
You
And
go back
we
to the
are
movie
the veil.
Cocoon. We are. Yeah,
That's what I have said for years. We are the veil. Stop worrying about whether you're going to get across the veil, whether you're going to talk across the veil. You're the veil. It's all you. And I also have, I have that belief of it's just you here. And that myself, as you're watching me on this screen, you have pulled me up as a part of yourself that was seeking knowledge or seeking comfort, or basically it doesn't even really matter what's coming out of the voice because it's the intent prior to coming on of sharing code of love and light that's going to benefit humanity in order to ignite the grid so that we can flip this planet, so we can elevate the planet and, take the ticket to the higher frequency Earth,
I think we did that. We've done it. We've taken the frequency, the ticket for the frequency. We're in it. And I think what's happening is the vibration off of us is moving into others quite beautifully. Even though they're not aware of it, we are actually shifting many and not aware of it. It's just happening because when we put that intent out there to do it, we start going out into the ethers and doing the work at night without being aware we're doing it. And so I have a lot of people will come to me and say, oh, you came to me in the night and we were working together.
I get the same thing.
Yeah. I called you and you came and I said, call me. I'm happy to come.
Yeah.
If you need me, I'm here, use my higher self. I'm happy. She's open. She'll come help you. She'll do whatever needs to be done. The way I look at it is it's just reciprocity because I might do that to them another night, right? Call them and say, I need some help, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is we all chose to come here together. We all knew this was going to be happening during this time period.
Yep.
But you know what? That's linear time. And that's another thing I like to drive home is that every single moment is a timeline shift. Every single moment is a choice point, the way it's been shown to me. And I feel as though what works for me, and trust me, I've been through a lot, as we all have. All of us came in here with a lot of unresolved karma. Tell us about the unresolved karma. I'd like to know I know it, but I'd like them to know your opinion on that, on unresolved karma.
Unresolved karma is nasty, but soon it'll be over because we are getting rid of the all karma period. So it'll be gone. So the way I look at unresolved karma is let's forget about being angry and upset and going back and, I need you to say you're sorry. I need this. I need that. Let's just do, I love you. I'm sorry. I forgive you. I'm sorry. I forgive myself. I love myself. Do it over and over it. Before you go to bed, you get rid of that unresolved stuff that you don't need anymore. And you don't have to know what it is because there's too many people. I went to a workshop one time and it was a workshop on residential schools and it was a bad one. And they left us undebriefed at the end of the day and everybody went home very upset. And the next morning we got there and I was in a situation where I was the only white person too. And we were all hurt, every one of us, all of us. And they were so used to being hurt at this, but because of what happened to them, that they didn't speak up. And so when the two facilitators came into the room in the morning, they said, how's everybody doing? And I said, we're not good. And they all looked at me and I said, we're not, are we? And they all said, no. And then we honestly said, this is what happened. We didn't get debriefed from this. We didn't get to heal it. So I've come to a really strong conclusion. We had to do healing, a lot of healing to get us through that because everybody was really traumatized and myself included. Now, the interesting that I've come to about that, and I've done this for a long time. I've been doing this work a long time. I've come to the conclusion that, you know what? Unresolved karma. Why do you want to go visit it?
Right.
Do you want to get hurt? Do you want to re-up the pain? What's the point?
Exactly.
So I look at it like, you need to heal it. I love you. I forgive you. I'm sorry. I forgive myself. I love myself. Do it over and over. It doesn't matter who it is. It's general. It goes to whoever hurt you in your DNA, and you get rid of it. And then you don't have to hang on to any of it any longer, because why would you? It's not worth your while. It's not. Your best bet is to just clear it, get it out, and do it every day, because this is how things add up. And then sickness moves in because we didn't resolve something that we should have dealt with when it happened, right?
Yeah, doing that spiritual hygiene in the morning and at night. During the daytime, if you must, you know, I make it real, but I'm real easy with stuff. I'm like, clear, cancel, delete any.
So do I.
And I just say clear, cancel, delete any shady stuff that I might have picked up today, you know, that I didn't know about, you know, or any, you know, because somebody up the street might be going, that crazy lady down there at the Sparkle Shack, she drives me nuts. You know what I'm saying? And that in itself is a little bit of a, you know, like, I don't know he's talking about me that I'm crazy, but you know what? You don't want to carry that into your dream state, you know, because you're often working in your dream state. You're always,
you are working in your dream state. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, all of us are, we all are, which is why we're all being so tired in the daytime right now, because we're so busy working at night, healing things, resolving issues that we have. And the thing is, there's 144 of each of us. Each of us has 144 aspects. Okay, that's a little big. So the best thing to do too, call your aspects to join you with love, because you want to pull those fragments of yourself out from other people, because they are in there. You know, when I did it, it was really interesting because I had very many visions of all these different beings not on planet. And then here's this guy in China stealing a television with a white van. And I saw him. It was an aspect of me was in him. And when I did that, he had the TV in his hands, and he actually turned and looked at me like he saw me. It was weird. Then I saw a creature.
Go ahead. Keep on. I got to talk.
Then I saw this, like a creature from the Black Lagoon, a part of me. You know, we all have all these aspects to us. And I just asked them all to merge with me. And when they did, they all went away. I don't have them anymore. They're gone. And you want to be whole. You want to pull your aspects to join you with love in every way you can do it, because the fragmentation, what you might be feeling one day is what that guy's doing over there. And you don't even know what you're feeling, right? Because an aspect of you is over there. Return it all to you, right?
Well, yes. But now for me, the aspects of self, I thought that they fully integrated 2 years ago, because I had all of those different experiences, you know, and I mean, like, I saw my husband that passed away, like, literally with my visual eyes. And, you know, I saw a lot when I was a kid, and there goes an orb. Hello. I saw a lot as a kid. And, you know, you see stuff here and there now as an adult. I do, not all the time. Sometimes I'll see the aura around people, or I'll see an orb that flies by. I see the orbs all the time. But anyway, getting back to the point, I'll call all power back to center, all aspects of self back to center, just as my normal everyday practice. But then all of a sudden, I'm getting these new aspects of self showing up. I integrated them. I integrated them fully, I thought, back in 2012, and now all of a sudden, these new, like the mantis being. I never had a mantis being before in my life. And the
Lemurian?
And the Lemurian, yes. And so what do you, I mean, and I know they're all me. See, that's the other thing is people need to understand is aspects of self are aspects of self. My
they really are.
They, you know, my Drakkar, my reptilian that's healed, that came back to work with me. You know, all of them, they are me, just at a different dimensional level, or a different perceived timeline. Yeah. Because all time is now. So what do you think about, like, you know, you say you brought all your aspects back to center and now they're all within you. I think that too, kind of. But then the new one's showing up. What's that about?
Well, that could be a new guidance to just come because something has changed in you. Because I mean, years ago, I had this monster come to me. Holy God, he was like the biggest mouth you ever saw in your life, and these big, sharp, rock-eating teeth. Ugliest thing you ever saw comes into my vision while I'm meditating before I go to sleep, and I got so scared because he was so ugly that I went, only love and light, only love and light. And he went, what makes you as a human so arrogant that you think that just because I'm not beautiful to look at that I'm evil? And I went, oh shit, I'm sorry. I was like, oh, well, who are you? And he said, my name is Matrush, and I'm here to help you with interdimensional travel. And he said, when you learn it, I will leave. And I went, he says, I go and I help people with that. And I went, okay, thank you very much. And he did. He helped me with a lot of things. But he's gone now. He's gone on. But so what happens is you'll see somebody will come in because you need them right now. And then they won't stay. Matrush stayed with me for 20 years, but then he left, because I was done. Next level, something else comes in.
Yeah, because Arcturians have not been around in a good year.
No.
I mean, they might pop in, but they kind of gone. The Argothians.
Yeah, they have for me too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Maybe they're just really busy doing something. But and the Agarthans, they're really busy too because the inner world people are preparing for the grand gala for when we all get together.
Oh yes. Now
and you feel those shivers.
Oh yes, absolutely. Now the Argothians, they came around when Landon was here quite a bit because they're with Landon, and now
he's got a connection.
I do call them in.
Yeah.
When I'm working on Landon, but for them to just show up for me, that doesn't happen anymore. Whereas before, I would say probably 2018, 2019, when Jesse died, the Argothians, the Arcturians, they were coming in strong. I haven't seen them much. Like, they just don't. And it's so bizarre. Now this Lemurian chick keeps waking me up, and she's got a team, by the way, now. It's not just her. And they're like, I want to turn on my frequency music and I want to do my thing. And they're like, nope. I'm like, well, how about if we just put a couple of candles out? Because I'm like a candle freak. I always put lots of candles. One candle, and it can't be with multiple wicks. I literally had to go, all of my candles have 3 wicks. It's a rule. It's a rule. All your candles got to have 3 wicks. It's a rule. Anyway, no. But no, I mean, one candle. Just one candle.
Yep.
I mean, and that's it. And working the energy. So maybe she's just helping me to learn that remembrance. Okay. So I'm calling this Libra lunar eclipse that we're having tonight, by the way. It will be at midnight, I believe, Pacific time. And then it's happening at 3 a.m. Eastern. And that is 2 p.m. Central. And you can figure out the rest of the times because that's all I can remember. But this Libra eclipse, all about relationships, all about love, values, and everything that we're bringing in with the relationships. A lot of people leaving jobs, leaving their relationships. And this is happening because it's supposed to. And it's making it a lot easier because Pluto's going to be in this harmony trine to this eclipse. From Aquarius saying, okay, we're going to make it real simple, real easy, and real effortlessly for you to leave. So take your exit now. There may be some people who leave the planet, and more people will increasingly leave the planet. They always do throughout an eclipse period. Now, my question...
And then we prepare for the baby. We prepare for the baby boom that's coming after this is done. Big one.
When do you see this?
When the world starts to heal, there'll be a baby boom.
Yeah, I'm seeing 2026, 2027.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of time.
But it's quite, it's interesting because I was listening on the radio the other day and they were talking about how there's not a lot of babies being born now. There's way less babies and they can't understand it. Isn't that something, eh? But in reality,
we all know
they've done this. As soon as the med beds come, people can go in them. There'll be babies again, and then everybody will be healthy, and everything will be good. But in reality, the same number of souls on this planet have been here since the beginning. It's never changed. And if you took every single human and put them in one spot on the planet, like say Alaska, all 8 billion people would have a 2-acre lot right in Alaska. We are lied to about how much room there is on this plane as well. You know, they're not even telling us the truth about how much room we've got. We've got so much room. We've got more room than you can possibly imagine. So it means that we've got the ability to live and thrive on this plane. We have to also understand a lot of beings who left this plane reincarnated as humans. They reincarnated as humans. So the same number of same number of souls on this planet all the time. It never changes. So them saying global warming, too many people, it's all lies. It's all just part of their scenario.
Lies. All the things that you hear on the news. And I don't care if it's your favorite local news person talking about the weather. It's often BS. And the reason I say that is because I can feel temperature. I'm very sensitive as you are. And I've actually caught the local weather guy saying, oh, we're going to have a freeze. Make sure that you wrap your pipes. I mean, I live on an island in South Texas. We're not supposed to have freeze, although because of the winter weaponization that's going on in our world purposely, we all of a sudden started having these freezes, right? But this time it was not a freeze. And I'm like, it is not going to freeze. And I literally did a video. Stop telling people it's going to freeze when it's not going to freeze on this island. You're putting people into panic. You're putting them into fear. See, that's all they want. The higher elitists, the controllers, whatever you want to call them of this world. And I'm not trying to make this about them versus us because they are us. Let's keep that in mind as I say this. But it's there purposely in order for all of humanity to heal and be able to raise the frequency of the planet, even though it's lies. I get it that it's lies, but that's us lying to ourselves. If you want to take it to the highest, that is us lying to ourselves. And why did we get there like that? Why did that happen?
And choosing to believe the scenarios, right? Choosing to believe the scenarios because, you know, like I had a guy, you know, tell me that I was writing a scam today because I was talking about this show that I watched on Netflix, which was unbelievable and so right on with what's going on right now. And I watched this show. It's called 3-Body Problem. Holy smokes. But there's one thing I noticed. 3-Body Problem. And it's an interest. It comes out of, it's a Chinese show, but it's American too and English. But the thing about it is that China's very upset about it too. Really upset about it because of what the show is. And it's about aliens and it's about everything. So I watched that show yesterday and I got a lot of comms off of it and I got a lot of information. And I realized something was it's preparing humankind for the fake alien invasion, the hologram. And it's preparing their fear. It's ramping them up for it. So I wrote that on Facebook yesterday and this man told me that I was a scam. So I wrote him back and I said, no. I said, you've got some learning to do on this and you need to look it up. And so then he says, well, prove me wrong. I said, no, I'm not proving you wrong. I said, you need to do the research like I've done. I said, if you don't do the research, then you don't learn anything. And I said, and that's one of the big problems we've got on this planet right now is a lot of people refusing to learn and a lot of people refusing to do any research to figure it out. They'd rather just yell and scream and say all these things. They won't look. They won't look. Yeah. But I'm not looking for them anymore. I'm done.
I'm not either. So that's the other thing. I've got I'm good with my boundaries on that now. It's like, I don't mind lovingly guiding you here and there. Yeah. But at some point in time, you're going to have to put your big boy and big girl panties on and look at this stuff for yourself. Because quite honestly, you will learn something so much more from your highest self searching for that information.
Absolutely.
Versus me just telling and spoon feeding it to you to tell you. Yeah. You know, and I love coming together with my groups. I love coming together with people and doing what we can to all help each other. I mean, that's what we're supposed to be, love-centered beings. But at the same time, there's so many that are just like, what about this? What about that? Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God.
Panic.
I'm like, I get it. And so I'm like, okay, hold on. I was there before. And I just keep getting told, tell them to go back to the beginning. Go back to the start. If they're not understanding something in there now, start where they began. Oh, well, I'm 5 steps ahead of that shit. I don't got to go that way. I'm like, okay, then. I'm like, you do what you do, but I'm just telling you, if you want my advice, I would say start back from the beginning and look through all of your information to find out your information right now. It's crazy, huh? It's crazy how all of
Mm-hmm.
that works out.
Well, it's really interesting because, you know, a lot of people are going to wake up really big in the next few weeks. A lot of people are going to have a boom, and there's
Yep.
nothing we can do about that. They're going to come into their knowledge, and they're going to come into their spiritual awakening. And then what's going to happen is they're going to have to slow down a little bit because so much is going to come in, they're not going to know what to do with it. So they're going to have to come to someone and say, look, I need some help. I'm trying to figure out how to figure this out because it's too much. I'm getting too much information. You got to learn how to ground. You got to learn how to meditate. One of the biggest things that people don't understand when they have a spiritual awakening that is instant, they've got to go to ground and meditate for like a couple hours a day just to get where you got to go and play catch up. Because if you don't, you're not going to train yourself to figure it out. You're not. You're just going to sit there and all this stuff's going to come out from the ethers. Where's it coming from? Is it light? Is it dark? What is it? You got to learn, you know?
Yeah. Integration of the activation from the knowledge that was received. There is so much more going on outside of you. Like literally there are teams, there's a lot going on outside of you that is still you, you know, that you can still tap into, but there's just so many, I feel like so many different upgrades in you know, entities, and just there's just so much. It's almost, to me, kind of feels like a whole bunch of just lines. And like I was saying last time you and I talked, remember I was saying there's little bitty tornadoes. Little tornadoes are swirling all around, and it's that kinetic energy, you know, that you can feel. And I think that if they give themselves that time to meditate, like you said, like, I don't know about if I can do 2 hours of meditation, but I will definitely do a salt bath, and I'll do a little bit of ritual work, and, you know, give myself an hour of self-care, and then I'll go walk on the beach for 30 minutes and ground the energy in. You know, grounding, so important. I'm, you know, this is electrified type of energy. And Mother Gaia is also going through these huge shifts and changes, right?
And we're feeling that too.
Yes. So when we go ground, we're able to kind of connect in with her and able to clear some of that kinetic, crazy energy that's going on from all of the activations, don't you think?
Well, what I tell people when you start to meditate, work at it for 10 minutes. And work your way up. That's what I started to do because too many people have too many expectations of themselves if they do it for too long. They need, because some people don't have, a lot of people don't have they don't have that focus or that attention span, because honestly, truly, it takes a lot for people to understand that, because our attention span as part of our DNA has actually been reduced down.
It has.
To not let us, because we're so used to all these extra stimulations everywhere around us that we're not used to.
I call it the instant. I call it the instant gratification generation.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we need to make sure that we're learning the other way, because we got to get all that stuff out of the monkey mind. Got to do it because the monkey mind. You know, a lot of people say, "Well, I can't meditate unless I listen to music." Oh, because now you're multitasking. It's okay if you want to listen to music, but you got to learn how not to. This is part of it. You got to learn how to close that monkey mind down and stop it from running your show, and let yourself just go into a deep meditation and allow yourself to see what you've got to see. I don't know if you guys have ever learned this. Have you ever done this? But when you meditate, this is really cool. When you go into meditation, when you first start meditation, one thing you can do is press on your eyes like that. And then hold them tight, hold on to them. And then all of a sudden you start noticing all these lights come in. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And then you go to source. You get dot matrix, you get all kinds of checkerboards. And the next thing you know, you're right there in your own universe. Isn't that cool?
Ooh, yes. I remember doing this with you a couple years back. Yeah. That's a lot. And that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That's a big thing. That's a big thing, because that's an instant connect, because your eyes are the window to your soul. So that's an instant connect that happens, and it gets you where you've got to go, you know? Yeah. And it's important for us to be able to get that focus moving. Mm-hmm, so I teach people about the pushing on the eye, because it literally is a quick connect. And then once you stop the pressure, you actually can start seeing your own vortex, because each of us has our own portal within our eyes. That's how you get to where you've got to go, to remote view, to go to do everything. So you can actually press on that, and then you can actually, you'll notice for women, it's going to be it'll be a counterclockwise swirl.
Yeah.
To go through it, and to come back out, it's going to be clockwise. For men, it'll be the opposite. It'll be clockwise and then counter. So It's just interesting. Yeah, I know. Isn't it interesting?
Thank you for that tip. Thank you so much for that tip. Now, what I want to do is I want to ask you, first of all, before we close out the show, can we have you back on Cosmic Convos for more tips? And the next time I'd like you to take us through maybe we remove the reptilian brain for them.
Absolutely.
Okay, anytime you want. Awesome. Now, this is Julie Severn's book, okay? Linear to Zigzag. Now, before I ask her a couple questions about this book, I have something I would like to read to you all from the book. It says, "We are all masters waiting to be awakened by self, all equal, special, and deeply loved for our abilities and contributions to Earth's process and progress. We walk the earth to give ourselves the opportunity to receive the highest possible vibration and to return to all that is, which is our true source of love." And I could read more on, but you can check that out. Right below here is Julie Severn's link to get her book, which I believe is on sale right now.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. I have the link right below on all the videos right there. You can catch her book. It's on sale right now. And I also would like to do a giveaway today. Julie's been kind enough to give an autographed book away. So I thought that we could do this in a way that maybe some of them might or might not know, but what I want to do is in the chat, whoever is in the chat, listen, this is how we're going to do the giveaway. Are you paying attention, everybody? I know that you're trying to multitask over there. Stop that shit. All right. So what I want to do is I want you to write the first person, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, the first person to write the name of the Facebook group that Julie Severn is the head of, that I am graciously she was kind enough to let me join. What is the name of Julie Severn's Facebook group? And I'm not going to tell you, there's a cheat link down below, but I'm not going to tell you that. So the first one to put the name, the official name of the group, is going to win her book. Oh, who is it? Okay, now you're going to have to tell me who you are. I don't know who you are because you come across
Facebook user.
You're going to have to write your name in there and say who you are. Whoever that first one, who is this? Who is this that wrote this right here? The first one, you'll have to put your name because it doesn't show up unless you have allowed eCam. Okay. Well, congratulations, whoever that is. Let us know who you are. Write your name there because as you can see, this is how you show up. Okay.
That's funny.
Who is it? You've got to put your name. I'm going to give you just a couple more minutes to put your name so that you can win. Linear to Zigzag. Tell us about Linear to Zigzag. How did this come in?
Oh, well, that came in because I started out back in the day. I was, it was just before Christmas, and it was in early 90s, and I was laying in bed, and all of a sudden there was Jesus, boom, right in my face. And he says, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" And I said, "Okay, for what?" And he said, "For the book that we're going to write." And I went, are we doing that? And he said, "Yes, we are." And he said, "We have to start very quickly." And I said, "It's almost Christmas. Can I wait till Christmas is over?" And he said, "Yes, but as soon as Christmas is over, we start." So we started, and we wrote the book in a very short period of time. And the one thing that I'm noticing is a lot of the stuff that I wrote in that book applies to this now. It just does. And the things that are changing inside of us, we're going to so many different levels. So when I wrote the book, I wrote it to cover what's happening right now, and didn't know that. I've written a second. Well, I've got a lot of books. I've got a fairy tale story on on Amazon as well. And I've written another one, and it's called What Child Is This? And that one is about Jesus and his life with his wife and children. And that one is
Oh,
finished. It's about 600 pages and it's finished. I'm in editing right now. And when
okay.
that one is done, it'll go. And I'm on the second book of that one. It's a trilogy. And that one is also called The Son of God, SUN. So that's the next version. And
Oh, I
so
love that.
that one's got about 300 pages in it right now. So I am working on these books, but this whole thing has shut me down. The stuff that happened with the planet, the writing got shut down because I was busy doing everything else, you know?
Well, but you're also making medicines. Now, she makes really,
Mm-hmm.
I myself personally don't endorse, I'm not, but I'm telling you, I take these medicines and they've helped me a lot. She makes
Yeah.
wonderful medicines too.
Yeah. Oh, and I'm sending them all over the world. If you want to order anything, just go on to Mind, Body, Spirit Healing, and you can find the list of the medicines. It's pretty powerful. And I'm
Okay.
really, really I just made an asthma one now, so I've got that one made too. So,
Good, good. And she
working on the
forages,
ailments.
and yeah, you forage and you also grow a lot of your
Yeah.
own stuff
Yeah.
too. So, and
Yeah.
this is the thing I know from just from knowing Julie, just like me, she's always infusing love, power, healing, light into the medicines, into the food, into the water that she pours onto the crop, into the seed before it goes into the ground, whatever it may be. It's always a constant ever, it's alchemy, period. You work alchemy.
And I do work alchemy, and then I make wands that I wrap copper all the way along, and at the very top, well, I'll just grab one. You want to see it?
I would love to see it.
I'll be
I
right
love
there.
me some copper now. I got the copper Merkaba, and I've got copper right over here, which is, right over here, the four-sided Russian pyramids right over here wrapped in copper. Above the head is copper. You have a copper Merkaba that you sit underneath. It's all kinds of craziness copper. Oh, this looks so good.
This is my own private one, and it's got a apophyllite and a crystal cluster on it. But I make these out of the cottonwood roots. These are made out of roots because the root goes for the water. So what I discovered is making these things, I started putting them in my garden. So I actually hang the copper down the bottom, and the copper goes up the top. And then I put them in the garden. And usually it takes about 6 weeks for carrots and onions and beets and things to come through. 1 week, and they were that tall with leaf definition in 1 week.
Oh, wow. Okay,
and they don't need water.
Well, I want one. I want one. Make me one. I'll send you all my specs.
I will. I'll send you
I'll be
one.
like, I want it made with this and this and
this. But if you look at the cottonwood, it's just amazing because it's got so many different roots and different, like it's just beautiful. It's beautiful.
So beautiful.
You know?
So very beautiful. Okay, so if you need to get a hold of Julie Severn, she's also offering sessions. You do one-on-one work with people that are in healing, needing healing, or just needing mentorship or needing advice. She's helped me so much along the way. I would love for you to contact her. All of her information is below. Her Facebook Messenger, her Facebook page, her Facebook group, her email is there. Everything that you need and all of the intel on how to get her book. And I didn't know you had another book, so next time we'll add that in there, the children's book as well, and we'll talk about that. And next time we're going to remove some reptilian brains together because I practice this here with my clients now.
Good idea. It's a great idea.
When you taught me, I was like, yeah, this is right on.
Yeah, so it's very powerful.
I love you dearly, and I so appreciate you. Will you hang out back while I close us out?
Okay, I love you too, and thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for being here today. What a wonderful cosmic combo. I am so grateful that you all beamed in today, and we will do this again in about 2 weeks. I am taking a little bit of time off for these eclipses, and I'll be traveling. So remember, no Astro Tarot Tuesday this week and no Cosmic Combo this week, but stick around. I'll always be posting out when our next event is. And please, I want to send love, light, and healing to all. As you go through these eclipse times, remember, if it's coming up for release, it's supposed to. let it go and let it flow. Walk in the light and spread the sparkle. I love you.